och välkommen till Whiskytower TV igen då. Idag så har vi ett mycket trevligt besök här på skärmen från Gregers Grue Nielsen från Danmark. Representant och ansvarig för det hela Norden, va?
Ja, Sverige, Norge, Finland.
Sverige, Norge, Finland. Ni hör, han kan prata svenska också, men vi ska ta det här på engelska. 1423 heter ju företaget i Danmark som har blivit någon sorts specialister på runt rom och drycken rom. Så vi kommer prata en hel del rom idag med Gregers. Men vi kör det här på engelska så att ni vet. Hi Gregers, thank you for taking your time for us on Whiskytower.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Likewise, it's been a while.
It's been a while indeed. Please tell us, Gregers, who are you?
So, I'm Gregers. I am Danish and work for a company that's called 1423 in Denmark. And we love rum. We deal with rum in all kinds of different aspects, in bulk, in our own brands, and import and distribution of other brands. And we started up a company last year with Per Ale from Away Spirits in Sweden called 1423 Noble Spirits.
Per Ale, yes.
So yeah, and my background, well, I came from something completely different. I was working within the events industry, so doing large-scale events and festivals and things like that. And was talking to Joshua. We were friends. I've been a rum geek for a long time, so we met at various festivals and other rum events and tastings. And we called each other on a regular basis. And one day he said, "Oh, how about doing some more?" And we progressed, and suddenly here I am. So yeah.
That's the story behind it.
That's the short version, yes.
Yeah. And how long, a while was it? When do you...
We're talking just over 2 years now.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's talk about rum.
Sounds good.
Spanish, British or French? What's the difference in your opinion, and what do you like?
Well, what do I like? What day of the week is it? Is it Monday?
Yeah.
Friday? I think there's rum for every style of rum. Obviously, I have my preferences, but I also get surprised on a regular basis on what's out there. I mean, there's some amazing releases coming out. My personal preference is definitely in Guyana. I think that's where I head to most often, but I love the Spanish style as well. There's a lot of really good releases, and the same thing goes for the French. I mean, you can find a lot of excellent rums. So it's difficult to choose, and luckily we're spoiled for choice.
Yeah. You talk like a politician.
A politician, yes. So, I mean, as I say, I think my favourites there within Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, and that's my preference. But yeah.
Okay.
You have Swedish connections.
I do. I have a couple of Swedish connections. My wife is half Swedish, although she moved to Denmark when she was 1 year old. So we have some family in Nyköping that we go visit. And I used to work in Stockholm for a short while and been traveling a bit in Sweden. So yeah, but my Swedish is very rusty. I happen to know that this jävla danska, inte alls lätt att fatta. So I thought that for this purpose it would be good to do it in English so everyone understands what I'm actually saying and not my Danish-Swedish mix.
But you have lived in England, didn't you?
Yes, I've lived in England. Yes, my parents still live there actually. They moved over there for that's 25 years ago. I was there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not why I'm into the British style of rum necessarily. But
okay.
I think the rum passion started much later than that. I did my what's equivalent to the A levels, or in Danish we say gymnasium. So I finished that in '95, I think.
Yes. You named your colleague Joshua, and yes. Do you think he is the brain behind 1423?
No, actually, and I'm sure if you asked him, he would say no himself. The guys behind 1423 all started it because of a passion. They used to be whiskey drinkers, and they were at a whiskey fair in Denmark where they met with a Danish importer. The company today doesn't exist anymore. It went bankrupt. But the David Larsen, who's there, he certainly exists. And a lot of the casks they have an almost cult status today. Well, he was responsible for getting them to Denmark. And so the guys came over to his stand and they wanted to try whiskey, which is what David Larsen was excellent in as well. And he tried to convince them to try rum. They said no. Moved on, and then they got back to his stand a bit later when they were a little bit more drunk, and then said, "Well, now you try rum." And they tried it, and they were so blown away by it that they really caught on to it. And then a couple of days later, Joshua's brother Binter called and said, "Well, I need I think it was €2,000 because we're going to buy a cask, we're going to do all these things, and then we're going to do some bottles and share them around, sell them to the local area." And the €2,000 became 3,000, and then they got the first set of samples from I think that was from Sheer in Holland, or Main Rum. I think probably Main Rum, but they got different samples, and the sample bottle they liked the most had a long number, but it ended in 1423. Actually, there's some numbers in between, but 1423 was what they remembered from that cask number, and that was the first bottle they ever released, and that's how it all started. So it started as a hobby. They just did it as a fun little thing, and they sold it to friends and relatives and some local bars, and it gradually grew. Today, Joshua is the only original partner left, but we have Parminder and Thomas as partners as well, who are all there. And I mean, deep respect for all of them. Thomas has an amazing nose and an amazing ability, but he's extremely modest about it. He would be able to take on the most hardcore rum nerds, but yeah, and Joshua, as you know, he's formidable in rum as well, and Pommy as well. Yes. So yeah, they're great guys and very knowledgeable.
Nice story.
Yeah.
We have tried some whiskeys, some rums before in your series SBS. Can you tell us what's the thought about this releases?
So the SBS, the SBS series in general, or the new releases?
Yeah, in general first.
In general first.
General? So SBS is single barrel selection, and it's our little toy. This is a brand that we play around with. It allows us to do some really fun things, and it's all about single barrels.
Yeah.
We want to try to do very, very clean expressions, but in our own way. So what we do is we find rum, source rum from different places. This could be from rum brokers. It could be directly from the distilleries. Obviously, we try to get it directly from the distilleries, but often, as it may be, brokers are the easy way forward. But we source the rums, and we then try them, evaluate them, and see, okay, what do we think of these? What can we do to make these, or to give them our personal touch? And often we will find different kind of casks. It could be seasoned casks. It could be Danish wood. It could be all kinds of different things that we put the rum into, and then we leave it in our warehouse for X amount of time. And eventually we will bottle it. They will never be added sugar, caramel, or anything like that.
No.
We occasionally water them down because we believe that you can find a balance. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best expression at cask strength.
No.
When you put it down, you can develop it, and this is usually Thomas that does this. So he will sit down, he'll try them, and then he'll find that sweet spot where the rum is most balanced and most flavorful. Occasionally we bottle them at cask strength, in which case there will be, well, obviously this one hasn't got it, but there's a small circle on the corner where it says cask strength rum. Actually, I have one right here if you want to see that, just as a comparison.
The Fiji has that one.
Yes, exactly. The Fiji has.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I haven't got the Fiji bottle, but I can just quickly show that. So
there you have it. Yes.
There, you have that little circle where it says cask strength. But yeah, so that's a little bit about it, and we try to find unique barrels. So that doesn't always mean that it has to be a very classic expression from a given origin. For instance, we could find a rum from Mauritius, from Greys, which maybe doesn't fit their normal rum profile, but the expression, the flavor is fantastic. So we'll happily take that, and that way we can source some rums which may not be used by the distilleries themselves, but we find them very, very interesting because they are, well, they're delicious.
Yeah.
And we can play around with them ourselves. So yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit about SBS.
Yes.
Kan vi börja prova?
Vi tänkte börja prova här.
Oh, go ahead.
Ja.
Which one are we trying first?
Fiji.
Fiji.
Yeah. 2002.
Yes.
What can you tell us about it?
So, Fiji 2002 is from the South Pacific Distillery in Fiji. It's a 100% pot still rum, molasses based.
Yeah.
So this is a funky rum, you could say. It's very powerful, and if I was to classify it with any other maybe slightly more known regions, I would say this is borderlining somewhere between a powerful pot still St. Lucia and maybe some Australian rum from Beanley. So in that territory, maybe even, it's a bit far-fetched to say Caroni.
Yeah.
But there would be some of the fusel notes there you might be able to recognize.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is definitely a powerful rum. Concerning the age, this rum will have aged. We don't know exactly how much. We can't say it for sure, but roughly, I would say maybe half its life in tropical climates in Fiji.
Okay.
Before it was brought to the UK, and then we got it from the UK last year.
Fruity diesel.
Exactly. It's actually quite fruity, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is fruity. It has some bitterness in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Powerful.
That's a good way to start. 57%, 57.1, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So it wakes you up as well.
Absolutely.
But I also understand why a lot of people, they think that that these expressions, they have a lot in similar, they're very similar to some of the Jamaican rums. I mean, you do get that funkiness. You get some of the high ester profiles.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
I like it a lot.
You think it's more like whiskey? That's why you like it?
Yeah. It's not so overpowerful sweet.
No.
It's not. I got. I start to think about Caroni when I smell it and taste it. Similar to Caroni.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than Caroni.
It's better.
I certainly agree.
Yeah, but Caroni it's a cult distillery, but it's
an acquired taste.
Yeah, I think so. It's not for me.
I think personally, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Corona, but I've tried certain bottlings which have been amazing. But this is maybe 1 out of 10 or 20 that I truly enjoy.
Yeah.
So
I believe I tried maybe 4 Coronis, and none of them was to my taste.
No, diesel.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
It's funny. I always thought that, especially whiskey drinkers would appreciate Corona because they had that fusel-loaded profile.
I don't know why. No. Not to my taste.
No?
The price for this one in Sweden, you know that?
1849, I think.
Okay, and it was released in Monday this week.
Monday this week, yes.
Yeah. I think it's still available.
It is. It hasn't sold out. No, we have a couple of bottles left in stock.
Yeah, 240 bottles in total.
In total, yes, that's it. And then we have 54 bottles in Sweden.
Okay, nice.
Oh, shall we try?
Shall we go to the Jamaican?
Yes.
The really
Let's try the
old
Jamaican
one.
This is an old one.
This is an old one, and this is really one of my babies from this release.
The price immediately it was very high priced, because of the age, I think, and 2,800 something.
2,889.
89, yes.
Yeah. So this is a very costly rum. No doubt about that. I think it was amongst the top 2 or 3 most expensive from this release.
Yeah.
But what we also have to remember is it's a very old rum. I mean, this has aged for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been aging in the tropics from 1994 until June 2018.
Amazing.
Then it was brought to Europe. So it's got a few years continental aging. But the majority has been tropical. So imagine the Angel's share of this. I mean, it's tremendous. And
15,
also, this to me...
15-16%?
Well,
8.
we don't know the exact ratio for New Yarmouth. We don't know exactly where it's aged. This is unknown to us. All we know is that it was brought to the UK from Jamaica. But you're looking at somewhere between 8 to 12% a year, Angel share in the tropics.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of rum that's disappeared from these casks.
Yes.
And well, should we try it quickly? Because
we would like that.
Yes, I think so.
Oily. Amazing.
Lots of oak,
Esters.
oiliness.
And one of the things I love about this is usually New Yarmouth is known for their pot stills. This is pure column still.
Oh, okay.
So
Then
it's a 1% column distilled rum, molasses based, of course.
Okay.
But the amount of flavor in here is outstanding.
It's from the oak.
It's from the oak, but these column stills, they produce a lot of flavor. It's all about the place and how they use or where they take it out. But if, for instance, if it was a 32 column plate, you can get a lot of flavor in there, or even if it's less columns.
Yeah.
And then, of course, using these artisanal columns, this is not a multi-column. This would be more like a coffee still, or a single or double column still. You have a lot of organic material in the rum, even though we might not be able. I'm sure you would in this case, but if you look at Panama rums or other rums, there's still a lot of organic materials in the rum. We won't pick it up if we try it straight from the still. But once you age it, the oak, all the phenols and things that happen in the reactions, they create esters, and that's where you get a lot of more complex chains of esters, and then you get more flavor. So that's where the flavor comes from, and you can develop it. So after that many years, even if this had been a neutral column still spirit, it would have flavor. But in this case, it's just an explosion of flavor.
Yeah.
And to me, I think coconut, banana, all these things are there, but it's not your classic Jamaican at the same time.
No, it isn't. I feel a lot of butter in it.
Yes.
On the nose.
And lots of exotic fruits.
Yeah. Biscuits.
This is a very, very complex rum.
It is. There's a lot to offer, and it gets even better when it breathes for a while. That's quite interesting, but we chose to water it down. The original alcohol percentage on the bottle was 66.6. I think that would have been fun to release it like that, but anyway, yeah. We decided to water it down because the flavors just evolved so much better, and it became much more complex and balanced when we watered it down.
Mm.
So a lot of the sister casks that are out there, they are still at cask strength. And you can sort of, if you can find them, you can still get an idea of the difference. But yeah, this is where we thought the sweet spot was, and I have to say it's spot on for me.
Do you have any idea what the filling strength was?
That's a very good question. No.
I suspect that it's quite a bit higher than the usual filling strength of whiskey.
Yes, well, probably. My guess is that they would have filled it maybe at 75 or something like that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I think anything much higher than that would not make sense, because the barrels would have at least been very, very old, like a third or fourth fill, because otherwise anything above 75 ABV would just kill the oak, and it would draw out all the wrong flavors from the cask.
Yeah.
So it would be somehow wrong. But yeah,
I think this was marvelous, stunning rum.
It is, indeed. Is it ex-bourbon?
Ex-bourbon, yes.
Yeah. For all the years?
Yes.
Mm. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too. You talked about 66.6. Maybe this one would have been.
That was a natural follow-up.
You have Rammstein rum.
Rammstein, yes. So this is our second limited edition.
Yeah.
We finished it in Islay casks. And it's, you guys probably know how to pronounce these better than me, but Borgladig and Bunnahabhain casks.
Yeah.
So we're in the peated territory of whiskey. The first edition was on Lafroig casks, and that was very dominant on the peatiness. I think this one, you've got no doubt. I mean, the peatiness is there, but you get a lot of sweetness at the same time. There's a fruitiness to it, which is in the front, and then the peatiness sort of comes mid palate and sort of stays and lingers a bit, but then doesn't dominate at the end, in my opinion. But it's definitely there, and you have a lot of influence from the whiskey cask in general.
Askigheten är där.
Yeah. Ash.
Ash, yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of almost iron taste. Tastes like...
Yeah. Metallisk.
Ja, metal.
Ja, en metallisk rökighet. Mm.
And this is based on the Rammstein rum. So it's a blend of Guyana, Trinidad, and Jamaica, with the largest portion of it being Jamaican.
Okay.
And it's aged. All of the aged rum in here is tropically aged, but as a blend, so it's up to 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Jamaica first, Rammstein. After that one, it's not the same league for me.
No, but also percentage-wise, we're 10% below the first two.
Yeah. Okay, of course.
But it's a very difficult lineup, because you wouldn't want to put the peatiness in front of the others either.
No, not a chance.
But I think the Rammstein rum is
quite nice.
Quite nice rum.
Yes, it is. Because
when you have these, what should you call them? Musician or celebrities rum.
Kiss rum and
we tried a rum from the band Kiss a couple of months ago.
Yes.
That was not the best rum, I can say, but I think this is very
really good.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. And you know the price on Systembolaget for this one?
This one is sold out.
Oh, it's sold out.
Yeah, it sold out in a few days after we released it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, unfortunately that one is gone. I can see it was $6.99.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
All the Rammstein fans grabbed one immediately.
It looked like it, yes.
Okay. Well, your personal favorite among these three?
Ooh, it's a tough one, but I would have to say the Jamaican.
Yeah, it's
SBS Jamaica. It has something special to me, and it's a funny story, because when Joshua and I we were trying the samples, selecting the casks. I was fortunate to be part of the selection in this release. We were trying them, and we were both looking at the New Yarmouth, thinking, well, let's wait with that one, because it's a New Yarmouth. It's just powerful.
It is. Indeed.
And we poured it up, we left it to breathe, and when we came back to it, we both sort of went, ooh, this is different. This is definitely not your standard Jamaican rum.
No.
And the coconut and all this,
yes,
it was so intense, but not in an artificial way. It's a very natural coconut.
Yeah.
So we sort of, Joshua fell in love immediately. I had to try it a couple of times before it really got under my skin. But before we left the table, we had no doubt this had to be part of the release.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wonderful.
Can you reveal any upcoming releases from you guys?
Well, we always have fun stuff lying around in the warehouse.
Yes.
And we every chance we get, which is unfortunately all too seldom, but when we do get the chance to try a few casks and wander around, tasting from them, we do find different things which are very, very good. And what can I say? We know, well, as you probably know, we release SBS every spring and every autumn.
Yeah.
So right now we're looking at some potential rums for the autumn, and maybe, just maybe, there might be something from Guyana, or maybe another one from Fiji, or we'll see. Maybe some Jamaican.
Yeah.
We usually try to mix around a bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Gregers, we talked earlier today about become a cask owner.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about that for the Swedish viewers we have?
Absolutely. So these private casks that we work with, we do them in Denmark, of course, in our warehouse there.
Yeah.
Usually we do it in a collaboration with PA through a Bay Spirits.
Yep.
We will always ask people to go through PA to organize where and how they want to do this. Often it's logistically a lot easier to do it with PA in Varberg due to the distance, and also for other reasons, for tasting and yearly examinations of your liquids in the barrels. So yeah, if anyone is interested, of course we do private casks as well, but I would have to ask people to go through PA to organize it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we as you know, PA specializes in Swedish oak casks.
Yes.
But we collaborate on the bulk rum that we use. So big variety of rums, whether it be Spanish, French, or British style. So there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, you have the cooperation between your companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Gregers, we have come to the final question or advice. Can you give our viewers one rum advice to take with them on their journey in the whiskey world? In the rum world.
Rum world.
In the rum world.
Yes.
Well, the best advice is try as much rum as you can. And I know in Sweden it's not always as simple as it is in, for instance, Denmark. But there are a lot of people out there who do samples. So getting into the Swedish rum forums, like Romskap or Rombrövarna, those kind of groups on Facebook, they will quickly provide you a reference to some of the other groups where there's samples being made available. Tastings, go to as many tastings as you can. Yeah. I think because rum is such a broad spirit, it's the most versatile. We have everything from completely neutral rum to some of the most flavorful spirits in the category of spirits. So there's so many different nuances and so many different styles. So finding the one that you love the best means you have to go out and try it as much as you can.
Yeah, it's a good advice. Very good advice.
Well, I hope so.
Har du någon fråga?
No, I'm happy.
Sorry, we have kids.
Yeah, and a dog. I heard him.
Yep.
Thank you for this lovely chat, Gregers.
Thank you. It was kind of you to have me.
Hope the pandemic is over so we can meet at some fairs or something.
That would be nice. It's been too long.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you very much, and glad you enjoyed the rums.
No?
Yeah, we did. Indeed.
Great.
I loved Jamaica.
Yeah. That was my
So
favorite.
the Jamaican was the favorite.
Yeah, extraordinary.
No.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Right.
Gregers. See
Thank
you.
you.